Hello, my name is Ben Bradford, and this is my persuasive speech. Today we'll be discussing why the fire department is the best option to provide emergency medical services to your community. But first, let's consider what you would like in an emergency medical response. If you or a loved one is experiencing an emergency, such as a medical, a cardiac arrest, or a stroke, what type of service would you want? You would want a swift response, personnel that can mitigate all emergencies and all types of emergencies that you may be experiencing. You would want continuity of care from the start to the finish of your emergency, qualified and experienced personnel, and you would want to minimize the time it takes to arrive at the emergency room. Fire-based emergency medical services can provide this. Fire-based emergency medical services is the best option for providing emergency medical services to your community. For starters, response times are minimal when the fire department provides the emergency medical service. Fire departments and the fire service has been designed from the start to provide minimal response times to emergencies. Fire departments are already positioned throughout communities in locations that allow them to respond to the main population body quickly and efficiently, leading to decreased response times. The fire departments have fixed locations and staffing, which allows dispatchers to know exactly what they are dispatching and who should be dispatched for an emergency. And fire departments are already accustomed to responding to emergency runs. They already provide service for fires and other emergencies, so why not have the fire department provide the emergency medical services for the community? In addition to being located in fixed positions throughout the community, they are also connected directly to 911 dispatch. When an emergency calls come in, the dispatcher answers the call and collects information from the caller about the type of emergency, and then dispatch the appropriate units to respond to the emergency. When the dispatch is directly linked to the fire department, this is quick and efficient. A private EMS company is not linked directly to the dispatch, and the dispatch must transfer the caller calling in the emergency to the private EMS company. The private EMS company must again take down the information and send out the appropriate units. This transfer call has an inherent delay and is repetitive for the person experiencing the emergency, which you can imagine is very frustrating. In addition to having minimal response times, fire departments are also equipped to handle various emergencies. Fire departments are multifaceted in their response and can provide all types of services. This includes extrication for patients involved in auto accidents. The fire department is able to force entry into a home if the patient is unable to unlock their doors. They can also provide technical rescue for patients trapped in trenches or in elevated situations. And the fire department can provide decontamination for patients that are involved in hazardous materials. A private ambulance company is not able to provide all of these services and must rely on the fire department to provide them. Private ambulance is only going to be responding with 2 personnel and ambulance full of medical equipment. This means that they cannot provide extrication, rescue, or decontamination for hazardous materials. And if a patient is large or obese, 2 people are not going to be sufficient to handle that patient safely. The fire department is able to handle this patient safely from the start to finish. And because the fire department can handle these emergencies from start to finish, the patient will experience what is known as a continuity of care. A firefighter, paramedic, will begin caring for the patient at the very start of the incident and will accompany that patient all the way to the patient is transferred to the emergency room for more care. This means that the firefighter and the patient can develop a rapport. The firefighter can develop a treatment plan for this patient, and it will be consistent and important details not to miss throughout the patient care. In addition, the firefighter will be fully informed of the patient's condition at the emergency room and be able to inform the doctors and nurses of the crucial information that they need to know. If a private EMS company is involved with the fire department, the firefighters must transfer information to the paramedics that work for the private EMS company. This communication can lead to errors and miscommunications, which can directly affect patient care and outcome. In addition to affecting patient care and outcome, this transfer of care between the firefighters and the private EMS company also takes time. In an emergency situation, time is of the essence, and if we use fire-based emergency medical services, we can eliminate this additional time and expedite the transport of the patient to the emergency room. In addition to continuity of care, fire departments hold very high standards for the personnel that they hire. An extensive hiring process is involved for all applicants. The application process involves meeting the criteria to even apply for the job. Generally, fire departments in Oakland County require firefighters to have a paramedic license, an advanced cardiac life support certification, a CPR card, and fire academy certification in firefighter 1 and 2. In addition to this, many fire departments also require a 2-year degree or 60 college credit hours before they can even apply for the job. Once they meet these stringent requirements, they must go through a thorough background check. Fire departments have the blessing of being closely associated with their local police departments. These police departments are happy to assist in the background investigation, which allows fire departments to reveal any issues before they hire a person. In addition to the stringent application requirements and the background check, fire departments interview the candidate multiple times to get a really good feel for who they're hiring. This produces quality personnel that are going to stick with the department throughout their career. If a person sticks with the fire department throughout their career, they're going to provide consistent patient care, they're going to be well trained, and they're going to be experienced. This leads to the best outcome for emergency patients. Private EMS companies do not hold the same standards for their personnel. Private EMS companies generally require that the emergency medical provider has a paramedic license and a driver's license. No experience is required, and the interview process is not nearly as involved as the fire department. This leads to inconsistent patient care and also leads to a higher turnover rate than what is found in the fire department. In conclusion, fire-based EMS is the best choice to provide emergency medical services for your community. It provides the fastest response times in your time of need. It provides a multifaceted response that can solve any emergency you may be experiencing. And it offers you continuity of care from the start of your emergency until you are transferred to the emergency room for continued care. In addition, the personnel that will respond to emergency when the fire department is involved are more qualified, more experienced, and have checked thorough background investigations before they can even get their foot in the door. This will lead to the best possible outcome for you or your loved one in the event of an emergency situation. Thank you for your time.